Oil started the week with the Brent fluctuating modestly near $30 per barrel. The collapse in energy demand and the lack of oil storage capacities continue to weigh on the market. Both these factors will persist until the lockdown restrictions are fully lifted around the world. Against this backdrop, oil is likely to give up its early gains posted during the previous session. Brent accelerated the pace of its decline by midday, going below the level of $30 per barrel. Likewise, US oil futures lost more than 3% of their value. As a result, WTI crude settled at $23.89 per barrel. Oil buyers have managed to sustain momentum even despite some doubts that the OPEC Plus agreement on output cuts is being fully implemented by oil producers. What's more, the pessimistic outlook for economic recovery made by the Fed officials didn't seem to affect the bullish sentiment. However, the bears are also staying strong amid rising crude inventories in the United States and subdued energy demand. Traders' skepticism about the OPEC Plus deal may push Brent oil down to $20 per barrel. However, some experts retain positive outlook for the market. For instance, analysts at Goldman Sachs predict a speedy recovery in energy demand. By the end of this month, the demand for oil may rebound enough to exceed supply, as all major oil producers will reduce their production volumes. Still, the projection is unlikely to be true, as there are a lot of obstacles left. In a best-case scenario, the market will revive only in the third quarter of this year, so the crude prices will probably stabilize at a slower pace. Moreover, the rapid rise of oil prices may become a negative factor. The surge of Brent crudes above $30 per barrel will trigger the reopening of production, and thus the supply will eventually increase again. This will inevitably put a downward pressure on crude prices. In mid-April, oil demand plunged by almost 30 million barrels compared to the pre-crisis level. In May, oil demand will still be down by 17 million barrels from pre-crisis period and by 12 million barrels in June and July. By August, the situation is likely to improve, with the demand settling at 5 to 6 million barrels below the level seen at the beginning of this year. Last week was good for the ruble, so it started the new trading week with gains. The ruble managed to strengthen against the US dollar, and the pair settled at the level of 33.73.4. The currencies of emerging markets, including the ruble, received support from rising oil prices and gradual easing of lockdown measures worldwide. Today, the dollar-ruble pair is holding moderately high. The greenback has slightly advanced to 73 rubles 75 kopecks. It's still trading in the narrow range between 72.60 and 75.50. The ruble is benefiting from the plans of the Ministry of Finance to increase the volumes of daily currency purchase under the budget rule. If the US dollar falls below the level of 72.50, the next target for the ruble will become the mark of 70. Despite the positive forecast, the ruble is unlikely to extend gains in the coming days. This spring, it will probably stay in the current range, while in summer the ruble may move to the upside. You're watching financial market news on InstaForex TV channel. We wish you profitable deals and see you on our channel in a couple of hours.